Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the 6-0 podcast. Today we are joined, got a special guest, Mr. Clark Miner, and obviously guest host Jordan Stein. Take it away.
Good, we're good. I'll go first. What's up, repping Duke? We got Gonzaga tonight. We're getting the dub, marking it down. But yes, we are with Clark Miner. He told me, but when the pod came out, he said, I want a rivalry week. So we're here now. Let's give a shout out to the pod for making it this long. Clark gets the prize. Clark, so here's my question. What's your favorite rivalry in football? So you can do NFL too.
Okay. Like my personal favorite or what I think is like the best? Just my
personal favorite.
Just because it's got a long.
You can be biased to UGA.
Georgia Tech.
Oh.
And it's funny because I know a lot of people are like, oh well, Florida's Georgia's biggest rival. Auburn's his biggest rival. But it's like just me historically and for like a personal perspective, Georgia Tech. That was like 06 was the first Georgia Tech game I went to. And it's where Matt Stafford got like a last minute touchdown pass. It was such a great moment. It's down there. It's my favorite.
I think you just hate the nerds.
And I will say when we lose to Tech, it's not often, but when we lose to Tech, it's the most annoying thing of all time.
I was gonna say, I just wanted to chime in. Yeah, there was definitely a time. I think what was that? My freshman year, maybe. Jacob Eason, freshman quarterback. We ended up losing to Tech at home. And I remember just being very upset, especially, I know Jacob Eason was a kid. It's whatever. But I'm going to spill the beans a little bit. Jacob Eason beat me downtown somehow. Like this kid, he throws an interception in the fourth quarter. We ended up losing to Tech. They score a touchdown or something. And then I walked straight from downtown to go drink my sorrows away. And I swear to God, Jacob Eason is at Bourbon already. I was like, how did you even get here? I was like, did you take the underground tunnel? And I was like, bro, you threw a game-losing interception like 30 minutes ago.
Right when he threw it, shit, I got to get drained.
And beat me there, yeah. So I don't know. That always rubbed me the wrong way. I was like, some people, it's got to be in your heart.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, it's I know this rivalry is my favorite because it's in my heart because I once got into a fight about Georgia Tech. So, I mean,
you're a bully, Clark. You hate nerds.
I am a bully, exactly.
You hate nerds. All right. Well, it's one of those times, once again, we're switching it up on the pod. We're starting off with NFL. Walker, Take it away.
I wasn't expecting that. All right. So full disclosure. Full disclosure.
Do your thing.
We're recording this after Thanksgiving. I'm going to be talking about the week before. I'm considering Thanksgiving as the Thursday. Thursday starts the NFL week. So we're going on to that'll be next week, basically. Disclosure. We're not talking about those games. We're talking about a couple teams that actually played already on Thursday again, but we're going to talk about a different game of them. Anyhow, I want to start it off with a couple games that I am highlighting. One of them being Vikings. Did they break their bad kicking and fourth quarter choking, whatever, curse? Because they had a game-winning field goal against the Packers and ended up icing them out, which was kind of cool. So what do we think about that?
I'm going to start it out. I think it's due for the Vikings to win a big game because they've had so many heartbreakers the past few weeks. I think they lost to the Ravens. Who else? They lost to somebody else in a heartbreaking fashion too. I can't remember off the top of my head, and I'm not looking it up. But I know it happened to with the Ravens. They choked that game. So I think they were due. Justin Jefferson balled. He killed me in fantasy. Kirk Cousins, it's kind of been balling lately too. Kirk Cousins kind of going hard. And yeah, I mean, it's just one of those games for the Packers. Packers still really good. Vikings are solid team. I say good win, but it kind of teaches me. I learned nothing new.
I would say the same thing. I got to be honest. I didn't watch the game. I didn't watch the Vikings game, but I do know from having Dalvin Cook on my fantasy team, he got me like a solid 17 points. So, good. Hey, good for the Vikings, and especially good for Dalvin Cook.
That's how Clark knows. That's Clark's. That's Clark's.
That's
That's Clark's stat.
when I'm not watching. If I'm not able to watch Red Zone, how I know from all the other NFL games that I don't watch fantasy.
Gotcha. Well, there wasn't too much I wanted to say about that game. Yeah, I definitely agree with you, Jordan. I think the Vikings were about to get one soon. I feel like they've been playing well and coming up short for the most part. Packers also played well. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, like he threw for like over 300 yards and 3 touchdowns or something.
They didn't have Aaron Jones either.
Well, that's Aaron Rodgers.
Exactly. I'm just like, I mean, like it was just a good game. I mean, it was
just one of those games. That's the NFL.
Honestly,
it's like sometimes you can play well.
I wish I actually did watch it because it does sound like really.
I think the Vikings were favored, or the Packers were only by 1, so Vegas expected it too. So.
All right. Well, with that, I'll go ahead and move on to the next one. This one was a pretty big upset, if you ask me. The Colts just demolishing the Bills, like 41-15 or something like that, behind Jonathan Taylor. 5 touchdown games, something like that. I got an agenda I want to push.
Okay.
MVP.
I'm with you.
MVP.
Honestly,
he's been balling out the past few weeks, and we're going back to fantasy again. I played him also in fantasy and scored 50 points. So and it was all setting up that way. Like a few weeks ago, I kind of noticed, I'm like, man, Jonathan Taylor's been doing really good lately. And it all set itself up just to destroy me. Because I was hyping him up. Like, he's been kind of balling. And
every single week.
Yeah. And then he balls out. Yeah. I say he's definitely a candidate for MVP. He's up there.
Jordan, I want to say too, it's like
Bill's looking a little sus.
Going back to fantasy, I don't know if you remember, like beginning of the season, right after the draft, and Koenig drafted Taylor at 6 overall, and you and me were kind of like roasting about it, being like, getting Jonathan Taylor sixth overall. It's like, really? I mean, I was waiting for like the second round. Boy, were we wrong on that one.
Big time.
Yeah, I know. I said the same thing.
I was still saying the same thing through like week 3 or something. I remember being
because he wasn't doing too hot at the beginning.
Yeah.
That would have been a nice time to trade for him.
No, like literally his performance was just like Kamara's performance last year. And was it like Christmas? He had like 6 touchdowns or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bills, they're looking a little sus though. I mean, if we're not counting last night.
I mean, we'll be honest, the Saints didn't have Jim. They don't have a quarterback.
Well, they killed him. But they just lost to like the Jags and then get killed by the Colts. I mean, they're looking a little sus.
Yeah, I don't know. The Bills.
I mean, I don't know. I still trust them. I still think Josh Allen was still one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL.
But that's the thing is like they've looked so convincing in games, and then the Bills they lost to the Jags, and then they got completely just blown out by the Colts, and you're kind of like, what are you guys doing?
Look, I will say this though, when it comes to the NFL, I don't really see like upsets they're like losing to the Jags would be like, that's kind of weird. But it's not in like college where the talent gap's still relatively the same. They're all still professionals. So like any upset is like not really as surprising as it would be in like college football, than it is in the NFL.
If you're expected to be a top team in the NFL, you got to be the worst teams in the NFL.
No, I agree. I'm not saying it's like Bills obviously should have beaten the Jags. I'm just saying it's not. I don't see it as like it wouldn't be like freaking Georgia State beating Alabama.
Yeah. All right, Walker.
Next, I guess I didn't watch a lot of this game, but I kind of wanted to talk about the storyline. But Washington football team and the Panthers played each other. Washington edged them out, I think 27-21, maybe something like that. It was Cam Newton's, I guess, I don't want to say return, but it was his return as a starter, obviously playing against his former head coach, which, people were saying in the offseason that potential landing spot for Cam Newton. Instead, they went after Ryan Fitzpatrick, and then he got injured anyhow. Or, they could have signed him after Ryan Fitzpatrick got injured because they've been playing Heineke.
Yeah.
So I don't know if there's bad blood there, if that's just a media thing. But like I said, Cam Newton's return, they ended up losing. I don't think Cam played that bad.
He didn't. He was 21 for 27, 189 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 picks.
Yeah, there you go.
Had 46 yards rushing.
Yeah.
1 touchdown. So he had 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, no, that's pretty good. Especially for his second game? The first game starting?
Yeah. He confuses me. Sometimes he has good games, and then most of the time.
He's so inconsistent.
Yeah.
I do have a question for you guys. Do you guys think the football team's gonna keep? Do you think the football team thinks that Heineke is gonna be like
No.
their star quarterback, or do you think they're gonna get somewhere next year?
I think they'll
If the right
use-
guy's there, they'll take him. But they'll
I was
but
gonna
they,
say-
but
The
they'll wait.
problem is this football team, and they're like, oh, got to get the right guy. Every guy for the past 15 years that they've tried to find for quarterback, it has not worked out.
Yeah.
RG3 kind of
They
did.
already moved on.
For
from that.
1 year? They're honestly their only guy was Kirk Cousins, and they let him go.
You know what the craziest thing is? Did you know that they drafted RG3 and Kirk in the same draft?
Yeah,
They did.
And then obviously, RG3 was good for a year, and then Kirk ended up being the guy, which that's just kind of crazy.
They also screwed themselves too with that trade. It's like you get one good year of RG3, but they also traded away 3 first-round picks.
I wonder how many times that's happened. I might have brought this up on the pod before, but when you draft like 2 players at the same position in the same draft, one of them much higher, and then the one drafted later being better. Because I can think of a couple examples. Because the Ravens drafted, I believe, Hayden Hurst and Mark Andrews in the same draft. They took Hayden Hurst in the first round. Mark Andrews was like 3rd, 4th, 5th round pick, something like that. And obviously he's a stud. And not Mark Andrews. Hayden Hurst is, he's still a serviceable tight end, but he's no Mark Andrews.
Yeah, but they also flipped Hayden Hurst too for a 2nd-round pick. So
Yep.
that's not
The Raiders, people keep talking about Max Crosby on the Raiders. They drafted Max Crosby in probably the 3rd or 4th, 5th round, something like that. It's 2. The same draft they took Cleveland Farrell, and Max Crosby is just way better. So I don't know. I feel like I'd like to look into that. And then obviously Kirk Cousins and RG3 were same position, same draft.
Yeah.
I'd like to see those statistics. I bet there aren't that many of them though.
No. Honestly, the past 15 years, you could argue Kirk Cousins has been their most consistent quarterback. And they
For sure.
All right. Let's move on to the next.
Oh, sorry. I got distracted. Okay. Oh, another kind of shocking game. The Texans beat the Titans. I think they were they in Nashville?
They were. Titans were 10-point favorites.
Yeah. The Titans are so weird this year.
They got the 2 worst losses in the NFL.
I was about to say they're like 8-3 or something. They got like the best record or one of in the whole NFL, and they got a loss to the Texans and the Jets.
Yeah.
I got
Ryan Tannehill was terrible.
What?
I got to be honest. Even if they end up with the best record this year, I'm not trusting them in the playoffs just because they don't have Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry's.
What if Derrick Henry's back?
I don't think he's coming back.
But what if he just made a miraculous?
Well, if he does, then we can make conversation. But one, we don't know if he's going to be the same person.
You think there's a career shifter?
I'm not saying it's a career shifter. I'm saying he become back relatively really early. If he came back next year, I'm not saying it's a career shifter. But the fact that he's coming back,
came back in January, that's the target point.
I don't know. I'm just saying,
yeah, I do remember
coming back real quick. I just don't.
I remember them saying he could be back for the playoffs. So
yeah, I know that's the rumor, but what I'm saying is it's just I don't know if I trust him coming back real quick like that, and being the same person.
Right.
If he just come back next year, then yeah, I've got no problem. I think it's gonna be the same guy. But it's you're coming off real quick, and you're already can be going right into your biggest games, like the playoffs.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same. He needs to, get the tread on his tires, I guess, before he can.
AJ Brown's been kind of ass too,
and Adrian Peterson got cut. So
yeah, I don't know what's going on there, but we'll keep an eye out. Moving on to the next one, the Chiefs and the Cowboys. The Chiefs, I believe, won 3 or 4 in a row. Their record looks decent now.
Yeah.
They're 7-4.
They're on top of the AFC West.
I was about to say they're 7-4 or something. So they're kind of turning it around. I think, like I said, they kind of quietly won, I think, 3 in a row because I feel like, they're not putting up 50 points, right? Mm-hmm. They won this game 19-9 or something weird like that. I don't know. I don't have the scores written down, but This one's interesting. I mean, it was an easily winnable game, I feel like, for the Cowboys,
Mhm.
Like the Chiefs struggled again on offense, which is just so strange to me. Their defense, though, looks like it's kind of coming together, which is just weird. It's like that's not Chiefs football of the past couple of years, if you ask me.
I agree.
Also, I mean, the Cowboys had the big thing with Amari Cooper, got COVID, not vaccinated, and he missed that game. CeeDee Lamb goes out with an injury. Who's Dak throwing to? No one. They lose the game. Probably could have won that one. I mean, I think Jerry Jones. I think I heard on Pat McAfee or something that like Jerry Jones was real upset about I guess what happened because he was like, we had a chance to take like they would have had like the best record in the NFL. I think they would have been like,
Been up there.
I mean, yeah, but basically they were just like, wow, the momentum of that. I don't know. That was a big game. And I feel like I said, it could have.
I'll say this. Cowboys are frauds. And I have a prediction that we'll be talking about that next week. That's all I'm gonna say.
Who are they playing?
The
Or did they
Raiders.
already play?
They're playing the Raiders, but
Oh, they are playing the Raiders, not they already
Yeah,
played the
I wonder how you figured that one out, Jordan.
that's the feeling. I got a gut feeling.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm not convinced with the Cowboys either. I mean, I like Dak. I think Dak's a really good quarterback, but other than that, I don't trust their defense. As a Falcons fan, believe me, I know.
If you told Cowboys fans the Chiefs would have scored,
And their
19
defense
points,
is playing relatively good this year, but I still don't trust.
Anyway. Yeah, a little weird there. And then the last game I wanted to talk about before we move on to college football was, I mean, maybe game of the year, probably game of the year. Steelers, Chargers. Wow. I think it was,
Why do you say it like that?
because I think that I saw somewhere there was like 40 points scored in the fourth quarter or something like that.
Yeah.
Wild. So that game was, I don't know, pretty boring. I'm not gonna lie, the most of the game, and then it just like they caught on fire at the very
I didn't
end.
watch it, but I
Steelers were
saw the
going,
highlights, and Justin Herbert's really good. Big Ben had a really good game too. And
yeah.
my only memory of I got a call.
Who is it?
Hello?
Hey, what's up?
Dude, I'm doing the pod right now.
Oh, no way. You're doing the pod?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Currently, we're talking about the Chargers Steelers.
No way. Perfect. I could talk a little bit about the Chargers Steelers if you'd like.
We gotta get to a podcast call-in.
Are you in the house? Just like walk over to Clark's camera.
Walker in the building today?
He is.
This is an undisclosed location. You're not gonna lie.
Oh, who's that? Is there a guest host today?
Yeah, we got Clark Minor.
Oh, Clark. Oh, it's rivalry week.
It is.
Of course, it's rivalry.
We're talking about that next.
Oh, wow. So, Chargers Steelers. Herbert, the GOAT. He was just on it. Just you couldn't stop him. It was his first quarter. I was like, we're not losing. Sunday night, Herbert's throwing dimes. Game over. And we choked a little bit, but Herbert was like, I don't know choking. I'm from Oregon.
Is that all you had to say?
Yeah, that's about it.
I'm surprised you're not talking about your boy
Thank you
Eckler.
for
David.
calling.
Okay.
David, you're not talking about your boy Eckler?
Well, that was random. I was not expecting that. But what I was gonna say is my only memory of that game.
Jordan, I gotta say, you gotta turn off your phone when you're doing the podcast. Go
Oh,
ahead.
no, it's unbelievable. Anyways, what I was gonna say is my only memory of that game is me waking up because I fell asleep during the game, but I wake up to just David yelling at the TV, being like, "Yeah, Cam Hayward, you want this? You want this?" And just yelling in the house. I'm like, dude, it's like midnight. What are you doing?
Didn't Cam
Like,
Hayward like
fuck Cam Hayward.
punch him or something?
I guess. And then the next play, they apparently blew his ass into the end zone.
That's funny.
That's all. I watched the highlights though. Both quarterbacks were on it. The classic Chargers game. They got to make everything stressful.
Dude, Dude, I'm surprised David didn't say anything.
They almost choked
I'm surprised-
again.
I'm
But
surprised, David,
they got the dub.
I'm surprised David didn't say anything about his boy Eckler. He got like what, 4 touchdowns?
You're right, he did.
And you guys know how I feel about Herbert. I love me some Herbert.
All right. Are we ready to move on?
Yeah, I'm done here. It's time for some CFB.
All
Let's
right.
do it. College football. Like always, our tradition now is I go down the rankings for Walker and he'll give me his reaction. Clark, you can join in on this too.
Sounds good.
We'll start it off at 25, Walker. We got Arkansas down 4 spots.
Okay.
They almost beat LSU. Burks was balling.
Almost beat Bandit too.
24, we got Houston, so that helps Cincinnati. 23, we got Clemson, ranked for the first time in college football rankings. They still got a chance to win the ACC, boys. They need NC State and Wake to lose, and they'll be in.
Okay.
22, UTSA. They almost lost to UAB. Down 2 spots. San
Did you-
Diego.
One of the three.
Did you see the end of that game, by the way?
No.
Oh, well, it was really bad. It was, I think UTSA went for a 2-point conversion or something at the very end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quarterback throws a terrible pass right like in the face of the UAB linebacker, and he hits it. It bounces up. UTSA guy catches it for the 2-point game-winning conversion.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so they were real close to losing.
Damn. But yeah, they're undefeated. Like Clark said, one of the only 3 undefeated teams left. UTSA over Bama, confirmed. 20, we got North Carolina State. They need the Wake to lose and for them to beat North Carolina to get to the ACC championship. Moving up 4 spots. How about Utah? After destroying Oregon. That was a mess.
Interesting. What are they up to? What did you just say?
They're up to 8-19. So down 8 spots, we got Wake after getting killed by Clemson. So nobody has to put it in a scenario where an ACC team gets in. Up a spot, we got Pittsburgh. Then we got Iowa. Then we got Texas A&M. Then we got Wisconsin. How about Wisconsin? They're on a little game winning streak. I think if they win, they'll be in the. I don't know if they've already clinched, but if they win, they're in the Big Ten championship.
They played nobody though.
Play Minnesota. So
exactly nobody.
Third team, we got BYU. How about BYU? Zach Wilson leaves, and they're win away over USC for getting 10 wins.
Got a big win against Southern last week.
12, we got Sparty down 5 spots after getting killed by Ohio State. Michigan State plus 19 did not happen. Oregon, like we said, at 11, down 8 spots, getting absolutely destroyed by Utah. I know we all saw like it coming, but that bad, Jesus, just makes it. Oh no, running out of time. We removed the 40-minute time. Oh, thank you.
Oh, thanks. Unlimited minutes. Let's go.
Zoom, please sponsor the 6-0 podcast.
They just did sponsor us.
I was gonna say, Zoom, please sponsor us. We're currently we're using you for free. So
10.
We're doing this for 8 hours now. Unlimited minutes.
Here we go, Walker. 10, Oklahoma. So they got Oklahoma State. If they win, they'll play them twice. So there's a chance, maybe.
Possibly.
They get in. Ole Miss at 9. 8, we got Baylor.
okay.
By the way, Oklahoma barely beating Iowa State, by the way. Yikes. 7, we got Oklahoma State. So they still got a chance. They can play Oklahoma and Baylor. 6, we got Notre Dame. We've been saying on the pod. They've been lurking. They'll have the worst resume in playoff history.
For sure.
They're lurking. They're lurking.
They're the quietest playoff contender.
All right. 5, we got Michigan.
Okay.
Playing Ohio State for a spot for the Big Ten. 4, we got Cincinnati. So that's looking good for them after destroying SMU.
Yeah.
That was a big one for them.
3, Alabama. 2, Ohio State. Ohio State jumps Bama as they should. I think we can all agree
I
on
definitely agree after that performance.
that. And then LSU barely beating Arkansas. Like, Arkansas is solid. But Ohio State just absolutely destroying it. Michigan State, you have to put them there.
Yeah, that was scary. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, yeah. No, I've been saying that. I said Ohio State's on that Alabama, Georgia level too. I said they're really good. I don't want to play them. That makes that Bama game more important because not only can we kick out Bama, but we won't have to see Ohio State until potentially the championship.
We sure hope so.
So, yeah. And then one Georgia.
Of course.
So what's your takeaways, boys? What's your takeaways just on everything? Just what will happen in the next few weeks about potential, Oklahoma's still alive, just what's the takeaways from the rankings and everything?
I mean, obviously what?
Oh, go ahead, Mark.
Oh, sorry. I was gonna say I think I like this ranking better than the past couple weeks.
Yeah.
I feel like it makes more sense to me. Also, I mean, there's the big, I don't want to say elephant in the room, but I mean, Georgia and Bama are playing in a few weeks, so that's gonna shake up these rankings too. So
yeah, no, I would say most of the teams like the Notre Dame's, the Oklahoma State's, the Cincinnati's, they want us to win because if we beat Alabama, Cincinnati's going to 3.
Right.
And then it's going to come down to a 2-loss Alabama team or like Notre Dame or Oklahoma State or something like that. Who are you putting in? Alabama, 2-loss Alabama team. Let's just say good game against Georgia. They lose by like a point, or not a point, but like a score. 10 points. Doesn't matter. Alabama, Notre Dame, Oklahoma State. Who are you putting in? Cincinnati. Who gets the 2 spots out of those 4? Let's just say Oklahoma State because they would be favored in both games.
If you're saying Oklahoma State beats
Oklahoma and then they beat Baylor.
Elephant in the room because Alabama. That's funny.
Nice.
Oh, I didn't even catch that.
Yeah, I did. You're welcome. That was funny.
Thanks.
And who are you boys putting in for those 2 spots? Undefeated Cincinnati, 2-loss Bama, 1-loss Notre Dame, 1-loss Oklahoma State.
So me personally, I would not put Alabama in there, but I could definitely see the committee doing that because they've been making up crap just so they can figure out a way to get Bama in there. But I would put Oklahoma State. I put Cincy at 3, and I put Oklahoma State at 4.
Ooh, what about you, Walker?
Let's see. I mean, in my dream scenario, they put Notre Dame in there because I would much rather play Notre Dame than anybody else. So I'm gonna hope for that. And then Cincy at 3, obviously, I'm assuming they're not gonna lose.
Yeah.
Here's my thing with Notre Dame is like if Oklahoma State they beat Baylor and Oklahoma, that's
Notre Dame needs Cincy to lose. They have no chance unless Cincy loses.
But yeah, and here's another thing too: is like that Cincy loss. And if Cincy loses, that Cincy loss is bad then.
Yeah, but that's like the only way they have like a chance because they're not getting in over Cincy.
I agree. Yeah, and it's like if Oklahoma State wins, that's 2 top 10 wins in 2 straight in back-to-back weeks. Like that's big.
And game revenge for they didn't lose to Baylor. They lost to
what's the team they lost to?
Iowa State, I think. Yeah. So what about this? Alabama beats Georgia. Let's just say them, Ohio State, Big Ten champ, Georgia and Alabama are in. Last spot, Cincinnati, Oklahoma State, Notre Dame. Who are you giving that last spot to?
You got to give it to Cincy because they're undefeated.
Walker.
I agree. Right.
I agree too, but I think they're going to do Oklahoma State. I think they're going to do it. I don't trust them, but I would put Cincy in too. I think that's what I think.
Here's my thing. If
they wouldn't put a 2-loss Bama in over them, I don't think they would put a 2-loss Bama in over them, but they would put a 1-loss Oklahoma State.
Well, here's my thing: is I feel like if this was like Alabama or something that's like a 1-loss Alabama, I think they would do Alabama over Cincy just because of the money and the name recognition. But I don't think Oklahoma State has the clout that like Bama has.
They just hate Cincinnati though.
I mean, that's true, but they gave them the number. So.
All right, let's go to the picks after that grand old debate. This game's going on right now, but I won't tell you the score.
Wait, David, whatever you're about to do, I just want you to know the camera will only be on Clark if he's talking. So if you're like doing something quietly in the background, no one can see it.
Yeah, he's just standing back here.
I'm
He's
not-
just chilling.
Yeah.
He's just chilling.
I'm just letting you know that they can't see you unless Clark is talking.
Good to know.
Okay, first game. We got Iowa, Nebraska. Iowa, 1-point favorite. Who you got?
You know what? I'm gonna go Nebraska. I feel like they need to get a win.
Walker.
They've had so many heartbreaks lately.
That's true. I mean, Iowa started off their year pretty good though, and then they kind of collapsed. So what's their record right now?
I think
They
that's
got 2 losses. So they have a chance for 10 wins, which would be a good year for Iowa, to be honest. Like, people are going to hate on them, but like 10 wins for Iowa is pretty good.
No, I gotta say, I will say this: Nebraska is probably the best three-win team in the nation. So
I agree with that statement. They've had bad luck. We've mentioned it on the pod. You've been listening.
they've had so many heartbreaks.
But I'm going with Nebraska, too. I'm with Clark. Next,
Iowa.
Missouri, Arkansas. Arkansas, minus 14.5.
I would take Arkansas and I'd take the points.
You look so excited. Walker, what do you got?
What was it? One more time. Sorry, I'm distracted.
Arkansas, Missouri, Arkansas, minus 14.5.
Oh yeah, Arkansas.
Georgia Science, lock of the week. Arkansas, Pig Stewie, minus 14.5. Let's go. I failed you all last week, but this week we're back. We're never giving up.
Oh,
All right, next, Cincinnati, East Carolina. Can Cincinnati keep it up? They're minus 14. Can they do the possible?
I got Cincinnati. I mean, I think Cincinnati's going to trounce them. It's like East Carolina's terrible. So, yeah, no, Cincinnati.
Yeah, I agree. Since he's gonna keep it going, I think they cover. What about you, Walker?
yeah, I agree.
All right, next we discussed it in the beginning of the pod. Clean, old-fashioned hate. Georgia Tech, UGA minus 35. What are we thinking?
Those questions.
What?
Georgia, 56-14.
Ooh, yeah. I'm trying to think. I mean, Notre Dame put 55 on them. Come on, guys.
Yeah, the Tech sucks.
I think we'll do about the same. Now, here's my thing, though. It's not that I don't think we could. It's that my prediction for this game is starters are going to play first quarter, right? Is that the general consensus?
Yeah.
They're playing one quarter, which kind of makes me think like, I mean, obviously.
I think they play first half. I think they're out there for a first half.
I think, I don't know if we end up putting, 55, 56 on them. I think we'll easily beat it by 35, though.
I do too. I agree with you boys on that one. Georgia covers. All right, NC State, North Carolina. NC State got to win this to have a chance for the ACC championship. Minus 6. What are we thinking?
I'm going to upset UNC. I think Sam Howell's going to have a good game. And I think
Interesting. I don't even know. You go first.
I'm with Clark on this one. I'm picking UNC. Sam Howell, last regular season game at the Tar Heel. They'll have a good game.
good pick, Jordan. Good pick.
Thank you.
Great pick.
Great pick. Great pick.
The crowd.
What's also a good pick? The one I'm about to make, where I'm gonna agree with both of you guys.
All right. Well, this is the game we've all been waiting for. The game. Michigan, Ohio State. Is this the year Michigan finally beat Ohio State, or is Ohio State just too good once again?
All right, two things on this. One, overrated rivalry. It's not the best rivalry in the nation.
I agree.
It's the Iron Bowl. I'm sorry, it is. Like the Iron Bowl, those fans, they will literally kill each other. Two, Ohio State, and I'm taking the points.
Ooh, you think they win by more than 2 scores?
No, like straight up, Ohio State is the biggest team I'm worried about when it comes to Georgia winning the night this year. So yeah, I'm taking Ohio State in the points.
Walker.
I'm doing the same thing. I think Ohio State's just real good right now.
See, I said for the past couple of years, I said this is the time Michigan finally does it. This is the time they do it, and they fail me every single time. I'll say this: if they don't beat them this year, this is their best chance. If they don't beat them this year, they're never going to beat them because they're just pretty good.
The problem is,
if they don't beat them this year,
keep going, Jordan. Keep going.
if they don't beat them this year, then if they don't beat them this year, then they'll never beat them. So with that being said, they're never going to beat them. Ohio State gets a dub.
The problem is that it's like you said, this is their best chance this year. But I could honestly say that this is their best. This might be Ohio State's best team in the past couple of years too.
Ooh.
Last year they went to the Natty, but
All right.
I mean, they've got a pretty good team this year too. So.
Next, we're going to Wake, Boston College. Wake with the win, closest to the ACC. Are they going to do it?
Yeah,
Minus
Wake.
4.5.
Yeah, that's another reason why I kind of picked UNC too, is because I got Wake going to the ACC championships.
Walker, or is Clemson going to go to the ACC championship? Who's going?
That's tough. I don't know. I feel my heart is telling me that like Clemson's still gonna find a way in, and not only are they gonna like find a way in, but they're gonna win the whole thing. It'll be real ugly. You know what I mean? Not win the whole thing, like win the ACC. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go with my gut. Clemson.
So you pick Boston College to beat Wake. Basically.
Wait, no.
That's what I meant. Like if Wake,
I
if
misunderstood.
Wake and
I
NC
misunderstood
State
the
loses, then
question.
Clemson goes. So,
Oh, gotcha. No, Wake's beating Boston College. Sorry, guys.
all right. I'm saying Boston College with a dub. Clemson goes.
Ooh.
Next, we got the Iron Bowl. Alabama, Auburn. Alabama minus 21 and minus 20 and a half. Auburn got any Jordan Hare magic left.
All right.
No,
All right.
Auburn sucks.
So here's the thing. We got Bama winning, but it's Clark Minor's lock of the century. Taking Auburn plus 21 and a half. It's Jordan Hare. Last 3 out of the last 4 years, it was in Jordan Hare. Auburn's won. I'm not saying Auburn's won.
Bo Nick's last game.
Bo Nick's not even playing.
Bo
It's
Nick's not
TJ
playing.
Finley.
But it's not playing.
Oh,
But it's Iron Bowl in Jordan Hare. Crazy shit happens. I think Bama's gonna win, but I'm taking Auburn plus 21 and a half.
What do you think? What do you think the score is going to be?
What'd you say, Jordan?
What do you think the score is going to be? Like, how close are we talking?
I'm gonna go. I think it's gonna be close to 3/4, and then I think Bama's gonna start. I'm gonna get 35-24.
Oh wow! I think the exact opposite. I think Alabama's going to kick their ass. I think they're going to kill them. Personally, that's one of my locks.
Here's my thing. Usually,
Well, you never know. You never know.
no. Here's my thing.
You're right.
Usually,
There's some crazy stuff that happens.
No, usually I would agree with you to where you never really go against Alabama when it comes to the points. But just first of all, this year Alabama's just been looking sus. I mean, this is probably the most sus Alabama's looked.
That would make them look really sus if that game was close.
I mean,
I wouldn't like that because then everyone's like, "Oh, Georgia's gonna kill him. Georgia's gonna kill him," and then we lose.
I'm just saying, if it wasn't in Jordan Hare, I'd agree with you.
I know, but just imagine that game's close.
Crazy.
I would hate that. There'd be so much Alabama disrespect going on. I would not like that. So hopefully they blow them out in that sense, or hopefully they just lose. Well, I guess that game doesn't really matter because if they lost to Auburn and then beat us, they would be in.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I
They
think
have to beat us, to be honest.
All right, next we got the Civil War. Oregon State. Oregon hasn't clinched the North yet, so they got to win this game. They're gonna do it.
Yeah. I got Oregon.
easy.
I think the game's gonna be close, but I think Oregon wins. Next, we got Purdue, Michigan State. Going into East Lansing. Mel Tucker was that huge deal. Just became official. Does Barty make him proud that the Mel Chucker proved the money's worth it?
No. Purdue.
Penn
I
State.
love dude, I like me some David Bell, man. That dude.
Penn State. They're playing Penn State.
Oh, I thought you said Purdue earlier.
Maybe I did, but I meant Penn State.
Okay. All right. Okay. Then come back to me. I gotta think about this. All right.
Walker.
Yeah, I think Michigan State wins that game.
I got Penn State. They're gonna do it. They need a big win, and they're gonna get one.
I'm just
James
not-
Franklin just had a 10-year extension, which I think that's a little much, but
All right. Well, I'm gonna completely reverse of what I said earlier. I'm gonna go Michigan State. I don't know. I don't really like Penn. I've never been impressed with Penn State this year. So
all right. Next, we got the Paul Bunyan Axe. Wisconsin, Minnesota. Wisconsin -7. Who we got? It's in Minnesota.
it's -7.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go Minnesota with the upset.
Wow. Clark feeling a little.
I think
You
Hey,
love the
to be
rivalry.
honest, I haven't pulled that many upsets so far, so I'm like, hey, I might as well.
Walker, what are you thinking?
I like Wisconsin at home.
Minnesota's home.
Oh. That's tough then.
I'm going Wisconsin.
Yeah, I'll still take them.
Playing good football. Next, we got Texas A&M, LSU. Texas A&M -6.5.
I'm taking A&M in the points.
I agree, Clark.
What was it again?
A&M -6.5.
Against who?
LSU in Baton Rouge.
I don't know. I feel like I like A&M.
Yeah. Honestly, I think that's a good bet. I'm going to do it right now. I'll do it after this. Okay, next we got a huge game. Bedlam. Oklahoma State, Oklahoma. Boomer Sooner or Fighting Grandes?
What's
The
a
Fighting
fighting?
Blaines or the Fighting Grandes?
Fighting Blaines to the Fighting Grandes.
The spread is Oklahoma State -4.5.
Oklahoma State -4.5. Yeah, I'm gonna go Oklahoma State. I think they're gonna win this week, and I think they're gonna win against Baylor next week, and I think they're gonna get themselves in the playoffs.
Wow.
I think
That's something.
I have a prediction. I've been hating on Oklahoma. Here's my upset.
Oof.
I think they're going to pull it off. I think Oklahoma's just going to pull their Oklahoma magic.
Walker, I'm not gonna lie. I was thinking the same thing.
I'm not gonna lie. I was actually kind of thinking that too, but I'm like, I've
Well, I
been
said it first.
saying Oklahoma State for the past week. They're gonna make the playoffs, so I gotta stick with that.
I've been hating on Oklahoma this whole time, like Walker said, we both have been. And it would just be so Oklahoma. They just beat so Oklahoma, so Big 12 that Oklahoma would win this and then win the next game against Oklahoma State. And they end the season with like one loss. Be so Oklahoma. So I'm with Walker. I say Oklahoma gets a dub.
I mean,
I'm not confident
see
on it.
that
I'm not
happening,
confident.
but I'm gonna stick with Oklahoma State.
I'm not confident. Next, we got Clemson, South Carolina. What we got?
Clemson. I don't even need to see the spread. I don't like South Carolina.
I agree, Clemson.
South Carolina got a big win against Auburn, but I'm gonna stay with you guys. Go Clemson.
I don't think there's such thing as a big win against Auburn.
All right.
Well, for South Carolina, it was. You gotta.
You're right.
We got Clark's favorite rivalry. Do you know what I'm going to say, Clark?
Keep going.
It's in Florida.
Oh yes.
I don't know what it's called. I was hoping you were
It's
going
the It's the
I-75 or something like that.
No. It's the the showdown of the I-4 corridor.
That.
The showdown of the I-4 corridor.
South Florida, UCF. Who we got?
UCF. South Florida's 2-9.
I agree.
They're terrible. Got a little Gus magic. The Gus bus. Gus Malzahn.
But in this one, I want it had to do with Walker's background. But Florida State, Walker, take over the background. Tell the people.
I am speaking so that my background shows up. Take it over, Jordan.
It's Dan Mullen. That bum got fired. I'm disappointed. They lost to Missouri on a game-winning 2-point conversion in overtime by Missouri. They fired Dan Mullen. I'm pissed. I just can't. I hate it. I want him to stay, but he sucks. He's an asshole, so nobody likes him. So it's not that bad, but I would have liked him to stay for another year. It sounds like they'll get Billy Napier, but Florida State, that team gave up on Dan. Dan gave up on them. Fuck him. I'm going to say Florida State gets the dub because fuck Florida.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think Florida's making the bowl game this year, so I'm going to go Florida State.
Walker.
I agree.
Yes, fuck them. They might get Billy Napier the Louisiana coach, so we'll see. I'm not too worried about that if it happens to be on right now. But anyways, that's it for the pod. If you made it this far, comment Paul's relief. Thank you to the cough drops.
Hey, real quick before we finish up, I gotta put you guys on the spot.
Okay.
Was I a better guest than Trey Farrow?
Yes.
Of course. Yes, that's all I asked for.
Yeah, it's not. Trey's the worst. Trey's been the worst one. He needs to make a comeback in the pod.
No, dude, it was funny because he was supposed to work out with me that day, and he was like 15 minutes late, and he comes back. He's like, "Sorry, I'm late, man. I had to do Jay Stein's podcast."
Happens. But yeah, comment Halls if you made this part. For rivalry week, playoff will get a little clearer. Walker, can I ask you this?
No.
So I'm going to ask you, comment below what you think we should do. I'm thinking me recording the pod live reaction to the playoff rankings. The final ones. Like not this Sunday, but the next one.
That'd be very interesting.
Let's do it.
Gotta see what I'm
below
doing.
if you want. Comment below if you want that to happen. Comment Hall's relief and what you want. If you want us to watch the live reaction to the playoffs.
If you are,
hopefully you don't get copyright, Jordan, for keep mentioning calls.
No, they're sponsoring us.
you should have twisted that into something. Like if you're feeling terrible, if you are sick.
Man, I've been
watching that.
I will say
watching that performance.
I will say
Hall's relief.
Hey, I will say this past week I've been coughing a lot lately. Thankfully, I had a damn Halls to be able to.
If Dan Mullen has made you sick and you've been coughing, here's your chance. Hall's relief. Great for the throat.
But any closing remarks, Walker?
Go Dogs.
There we go. George Pickens is cleared, by the way, people. But Clark, any lasting remarks?
Nothing. Just want to say thanks for having me on. Got to go before I head out. Got to get a quick shout out to world champion Atlanta Braves, my boy Bloop, my boy Brian Snicker, and of course my boy Jock Peterson. Big listener to the pod, by the way, Jock Peterson.
Ooh.
And the Bloop as well.
Oh wow! Look at us. Well, if you love Jock Pearson, if you love the Bloop, subscribe down below. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram. Listen to us to Spotify. If you're listening to Spotify, subscribe to our YouTube channel. All the same. 6-0 Podcast. Peace.
Let's go.